Welcome to another episode of Live with Dell Anthony. I'm your host, Dell Anthony. Without you, there's no me. Let's get into it. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, make your comments below. You can also catch me on Basketball Jones, Jonez, at Truvio, Trovo.com with my man Jonesy. But let's get into it. Let's talk about the playoffs. Final four teams. Yes, it's 3-0 both series, but it's the tale of two series. On one half, we have the East Coast. We have Miami, who they're just gritty and grindy. They just on it. They on it. So it's a Pat Riley team. Spoelstra also is a great coach. And I tell kids all the time. I tell people that I coach all the time. Also, I tell my son who's into sports now, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And right now, Boston have all the talent. If you look on paper, it should be like, wow, they should be blowing this team up. But Miami is gritty and grimy. You know what I'm saying? They're in the gutter. 6 to 7 undrafted players. They want to prove something. This might be their year to get back there. And we keep sleeping on Miami. They was there in the bubble. Last year they had some injuries. This year they got their shooters, and they marked for it. I'm as you tell, I'm a Knicks fan, and they got at us once they beat Milwaukee. And Julius Randle we need a CNI dog to find him. I knew we were in trouble because they was just hitting every big shot. And big game, big game Jimmy, Mr. Buckets. I mean, he's what he is. He's a hard worker. Like they said, whatever they said in Minnesota, they said whatever they said with I think he was with Chicago, but I know for sure he was with the Sixers, and they wanted to say, oh, he doesn't fit. He doesn't fit. How does a guy that brings his lunch pail every day, brings his lunch box to the office, can't work? That's just people wanting this new age of basketball where everybody's shooting threes and looking pretty and Golden State Warrior in it. But Miami's for real. They got that defense. They can lock you down. Defense wins championships. So they definitely might not be the best team in that game because Boston is actually better than them on paper. But the ball never lies, as we say back home. And Miami's for real. Jimmy get those buckets. And Butler, he's the real deal. But I can't just give it to him. I think they added some key veterans to that team, even though Love might be out for Game 4 and for the championship, the finals. But when you add those veterans around that core that don't know any better, I'm telling you, it's something to behold. And if you watch the way Love and Lowry fit around there, they still got Hamslem on the sideline, who's that veteran talking in their ear. They've been there before. They got some championship pedigree there. Like I said, you got Lowry, you got Love, you got Haslam, you got Spoelstra, you got Pat Riley. I mean, so the championship pedigree is there. When you look at Boston, to switch it up real quick, and you look at Boston, to be honest with you, it's not about changing any coach. There's like, oh, because they changed the coach, and sometimes that doesn't mean anything. In football, the 49ers changed the coach. They put George Seifert in over Bill Walsh, and they still won the Super Bowl. So it's not nothing to do with change of culture. The problem with Boston, they don't have too many championship veterans on their team. Horse, Horse, Al Horford is a veteran, but he does. I don't believe he has a championship. So he doesn't know what to say in that locker room. Yeah, I mean you got to remember, people get paid a lot of money now. So when you're a veteran, it doesn't hold the same weight as if you came in like Michael Jordan and Orlando Woolridge was talking to you, or you came in, as say Greg Anthony and Derek Harper's talking to you. It's not the same thing. So they make paper. So when Harford's trying to talk to them, Tatum is like, I'm the Green Mamba. And Brown is like, you guys keep having me in trade rumors. You got Williams and White and these guys, the other Williams, you know what I mean? Brogdon, these guys got a lot of hardware. They got six man of the year. They got hustle award guy. They got first team, second team. So when you get all those awards with no real achievement, people start believing their own press. And like I said, once again, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So when you go around and you got people thinking that they're better than what they are, you can't tell them nothing. And what hurts Boston compared to teams like maybe a Miami and stuff like that, they got young lions in the den. So when you have young lions in the den, you know what I mean? You got people that think they know everything, can't tell them nothing. It's almost like the generation today. You can't tell them nothing because you old. You know what you talk about. This is how we do it in our game. So you got a Tatum, who I want to say is the next Kobe, but he doesn't have that killer instinct as well. He's a killer instinct as well. He's an assassin, but he's not a sniper. You know what I mean? So I think that's what hurt them. You have a Brown that gets into his feelings, Jaylen Brown, even though he's good. Oh, y'all gonna trade me, or y'all put me in these trade rumors. People don't want to hear that you want to get rid of him. People don't want to hear that. When they think that, they're gonna try to either prove you wrong or they tap out. And Boston tapped out, like Magic Johnson said what he said, and okay, that's cool. Magic. I know you want to show your loyalty to Bird, but honestly, they didn't quit because they had Celtic pride. These young generations don't know anything about tradition. I mean, if you look at the kids nowadays, they don't know anything about what happened in the 60s and 70s or whatever as far as how people were treated. So they think, nah, it's just in everybody's imagination. They don't have no idea about playing for what that means on the name here. You know what I mean? They playing for their bag, as they say, their come up. So saying the Celtics with Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, where anything is possible, these guys don't care about that right now. They care about those coins, and that's just what it is. Like we're old school viewers, so when we see stuff, we go, "Come on!" Like Julius Randle, he quit way before the Celtics quit. I believe he quit. He couldn't get off. He has a cute son. His wife, stands by him, but he totally tapped out against the Knicks. I mean, with the Knicks against the Heat, he tapped out. So these guys are not built like that. So we can't expect them to think, oh, it's do or die. I gotta go all out. They're not worried about that. They get paid so much money, they don't really care. It's not like where you have to earn your keep. You work hard to get as they would say today, their bag, and then it is what it is. Now on to the Western Conference. Switch it up a little bit. You know what I mean? The Lakers and Denver. If you watch the first podcast, well, I don't know if Jonesy posted that one because that one we was kind of testing out the kinks. It was very long or whatever. I said Denver looks for real. The reason why I rock with the Lakers is because of LeBron. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm a big fan of LeBron. I was in the Jordan era, see all of their careers, seen all of LeBron's careers, and I think they're neck and neck with Michael being the edge because of the assassiness and what he did for the sport. But honestly, I'm rooting for LeBron. But if I was to sit back as a basketball purist and go, okay, what do you think? Is definitely Denver. If the Lakers come back, that would be the biggest choke job in NBA history because Denver. Remember, they made it in the bubble. They made it to the finals again, the Western Conference Finals. Lost to the Lakers. I think the Lakers had a lot of maturity there. A lot of guys that wanted to get out there and win too. This year, from where they started to now, they've overachieved. But I think D'Angelo Russell, he's not a pressure player. That's why Golden State got rid of him. So having him on the floor might not be your best thing. I mean, I see they're going to probably switch it up. And I heard this from Skip Bayless. So you got to give credit where it's due. But they might switch it up, thinking of having Archimore start, having Rivers start, Schroeder start. That'll give them some defense. That'll give them somebody that can stay in front of Jay Murray. But Jay Murray's that dude. Remember, guys, they choked last year, but Murray wasn't available. He wasn't available. The best ability is availability. He's there. He's there now, and you're starting to see that. I think Darwin Ham has done a heck of a job as a coach. Darvin Ham has done amazing. Palenka stepped up and he brought those pieces in. They look really good. But if you think a 38-year-old man should be the one carrying your team, I mean, I'm old school. Ever since my surgery, I don't play as much as I used to. But when I used to play, and I used to play with these young boys, and I'll get my buckets here and there, mid-range, old school, the veteran, all that. And I used to tell guys when we play, I said, listen, if I'm the reason we win, then we really don't have a good team. I'm adding to that. Now, in my days, in my 20s or whatever, I could shoot and rebound with the best of them. Let's get it. You know what I mean? But right now, if I'm out there playing for exercise and you need me to be the Barkley of the team or whatever, you might not want to win a lot because we can't do that. I'm saying all that to say, no matter that LeBron is 6'8", whatever, it's not about father time. It's about the young boys are a lot faster and a lot stronger than even when he was younger. He's still strong. That's why he can still dominate a game. But he doesn't want to take that pounding either. Don't let him fool you. Just because you're 260 don't mean you really want all that pounding. He's 38 years old. He's a billionaire. He want to relax with the family. He want to be able to go out with the Bronny and Bryson and his wife and his kids and the dogs or whatever and run around. Go call Maverick and what you call it, his buddy Rich. I think it's Rich. They want to chill out and barbecue and stuff. He don't want to be banging around. That's what he's sitting in the chambers for, to relax his body. I think there's a little envy. I think there's a little jealousy in LeBron as well, where okay, I'm shooting these 3 pointers because I see that's where the game is, and Steph Curry get a lot of love because of his 3 pointers. But LeBron gotta understand, Steph Curry get that love because he's the average Joe. He's like 6'2", 6'3", 6'1", if that. And he's showing these little boys that we don't gotta be 8 feet to dominate a game. We could be us. That's the love affair with Steph Curry. But I think LeBron wants to be talked about all the time. Like he loves the media attention. You know what I mean? So he'll he'll get on Twitter or he'll say stuff or whatever, and that's kind of what separates him from Jordan. Jordan didn't care what anybody said. He might have heard it. People might have said, "Hey, did you hear that?" He don't care. You see, he cut Barkley off, and he knew he was friends with Barkley for over 30-something years. That's just who he is. He was a killer. He didn't care. He was like, "Yo, if you in front of me, I'm eating your lunch." LeBron will say, "Hey, if you're sitting over there, won't you sit down and I can give you a piece of my lunch if you don't have it?" But LeBron still has a killer instinct. He's a winner. He's in the top five, as Jadakiss said, top five dead or alive. You know what I mean? But the difference is that Denver is just a complete team. If the Lakers come back, it's going to take them locking down on what they known for defense. Shooting jump shots, dribbling 80 times, trying to throw a prayer. That's not your game, Lakers. Get back down to the trenches, and the series could be nice, even though I think Denver got it. But if you get into those trenches, anything is possible. A freak accident here, freak injury here, a bad call here. You never know. It could be 3-1, then 3-2, slip up, win game 6, and now it's a winner takes all. As far as the finals, it's probably going to be, of course, Denver and the Heat. I'm not really saying much, but I think the Heat has a real good chance of winning. I think Denver has great scoring because Michael Porter. The best thing Denver did, I'm sorry, I don't want to speed up too much. The best thing Denver did is when they signed Brown and I think CKP because of the defense part of what they bring. Aaron Gordon can jump out the sky, but you can take a you can put him anywhere. He's like the Julius Randolph. He'll be there and he might not be there. But Michael Porter, I mean, he was nice coming out of college. Remember, he had a back injury, so he couldn't play like that, or he had back problems. Now he's coming in his own. He's like a taller Klay Thompson. He's not as he's not as on point as Klay Thompson, but he can light it up like Klay Thompson. And he's still young. This team is young. If they could beat the Lakers and go on and win that finals, I see them at least winning 2 in 5 years. I won't say dynasty because people throw those words around with free agency and people getting their bag and getting comfortable. I don't know. But I can see if they beat the Lakers tonight and they go on and beat the Heat, they can win another one or two within the next 5 years for sure. Now, on that other hand, Miami, this is their best year to win it because they have nothing to lose. If they win, if they don't win it this year, it would be hard to keep all those pieces happy with being underdogs. They do have a camaraderie, almost like those teams in the 80s and the 90s, where they're playing so many years together that they have oh, I know what you would do. I know where you like it. I know what spot you want. I know what we haven't seen teams like that since honestly the Spurs, when they used to have such a camaraderie, they knew what everybody was going to be. But the game is different now. But that's my take on the playoffs. You know, there's a couple things. One more thing I want to talk about, and that's the Knicks. Great year, Knicks. For all you Knicks fans that are overhyped, overly excited, feel a little disappointed, there is no way in the world you should be disappointed. I am very proud of the Knicks and what we achieved this year. Very proud of them. They should they've been in the third in a conference final because of what the experts were saying. These experts are not really experts. They just take analytical data or data, whatever you prefer to say, and try to say what a team should do. The Knicks overachieved. Jalen Brunson is good. Nobody knew he was that good. Because I still say they should have traded Barrett and whatever pick to Utah for Donovan Mitchell. Why did I say that? Because for these people to say, oh, Mitchell is not all that, he's whatever, he can get buckets. So when they start double teaming Brunson, unlike what Julius Randle and Barrett couldn't do, he can go get a bucket. So now when the offense is stalling, he can get a bucket and he plays defense and he's exciting. And when you throw him in there, the defense can't just worry about Brunson. If you watch what Miami did, they just clamped down on Brunson. They knew they already took Julius Randle hard. So they clamped down on Brunson. You think Brunson makes that turnover at the end of the game if Donovan Mitchell is there? No, because he makes that pass out. He didn't, even though that was his Villanova college teammate, he didn't trust that he would make that shot because of how the series went. But if you had Donovan Mitchell, he makes that pass. He already goes into that dribble because they always teach them when you go baseline, never go to the baseline or to the sidelines because now that sidelines or baseline become a defender. So once they Butler got into the passing lane, he couldn't see where he was throwing because he dribbled too far in without already going to make a commitment, get the foul, or bring it back out and kick it out. I always teach the youngsters when you dribble it before you get into that thing when before they could cut off that baseline, you bring it back out and reset it up or bring it out and kick it out. So then the other guy can either shoot the ball or maybe drive to the basket. But he drove so far in that when he picked up his dribble, he was in no man's land. And then he said he was forcing it to Randall. Randall was locked down. What would you giving it to Randall for? You know, that's like a quarterback in the fourth quarter panicking, fourth down, instead of throwing for the quick first down or hitting the open receiver for a first down to get out of bounds. He tries to throw it to the middle of the field, a la Derek Carr, and then they pick it off, and then you want to say, oh, because nobody was open. That was a bad play. As great as Brunson was, that was a very bad play. But if you had Donovan Mitchell, he would have kicked it out to Mitchell, and Mitchell would either shot it, scored it, or drove in to tie the game because I think they were two down. But I'm very proud of what they did. I hope they rebuild on it. I mean, if I had to, I definitely would look to trade Julius Randle. I don't think anybody's gonna want him. I would look to trade Barrett. If I was the Knicks, don't kill me, my YouTubers. But if I was the Knicks, I would grab Dylan Brooks. I don't care if he can't shoot. We already got people that can't shoot, but you need people that hang their hat on defense. You need people that's going to get on that key guy. And everybody's not LeBron James. One thing I can tell you about Dylan Brooks, he's a workaholic. And with him and Josh Hart, we're going to have nice wings that can play and get up in there. I think also, I would have been traded Barrett. I don't know why they so much in love with Barrett. Maybe because he's young and they feel, okay, once he come into his own, he's going to be the truth. I don't know what they love about Barrett. But Barrett and Randolph, we can't keep both of them. So one of them got to go. So take your pick. I don't know what we got Evan Fournier for. We got him last year. All he did was sit on the bench. We got him for shooting. And in the Miami series, we needed shooting, and he's on the bench. So obviously he can't shoot. So he cashed in and got a big paycheck for nothing. I can do what he do. I'm doing that right now. Look, I'm sitting on the bench. I'm not playing. I'm sitting. And I don't make the money he makes. So I should have worked harder because to get paid to sit, that's a person's dream. But that's my thoughts for today. I won't keep it too long. Look out for the podcast, Basketball Jones, JONEZ, at Truvio, TROVO.com. Me and my man Jonesy. And see you next week for another take on Live with Dell Anthony. Have a blessed day. Without you, there's no me. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Enjoy the rest of the playoffs. and I'll talk to you soon.